Hi, I'm Arloa Reston, and this tutorial is on thread throughs. Thread throughs are when you're sitting on the pole and you have one hand up, one hand down. You're going to take one leg and you're going to move it over to the other side of the pole to meet the other leg. So there are two ways to thread your leg through. One is foot first and one is knee first. Ideally, you eventually want to get to the knee first thread through. But to get used to the movement and get used to the weight transfer, we're going to start with foot first. So before we try it up the pole, we're going to come down to the base of the pole. So we're going to find that ideal spacing between your lap and your upper hand while we're down on the floor before we take it up the pole. So from here, we're going to sit around the pole, one leg on either side, and you're going to get real nice and close to that pole. You're going to take one hand and put it on the pole. The other hand we're just going to forget about for now. And you're going to find the spacing that you need to take same leg as arm. You're going to take that knee back to your shoulder, and then you're going to take that foot over to the other side of the pole. You want to try and keep the hand as high as possible so that you don't fall back and you don't lose your grip on the pole. But you're also going to need it to come down far enough to allow you to bring the leg over. If I'm all the way up here, there's no way I'm getting that leg through. If I'm all the way down here, it's really easy to get that leg through, but chances are I'm not going to be able to hold that while up the pole. So you want to find that ideal spacing while you're down at the base of the pole, and there's no risk. So find that spacing, play with that, and then we're going to start taking it up the pole. We're still not going to actually thread through yet. There's one thing we need to work on first, and that's the weight transfer and how to hold yourself on the pole while the leg is coming off. So I want you to get into a nice sit. We're going to sit on the pole, and we're going to stack the hips. What that means is one hip is high, the other hip is low. That gives us maximum grip on the pole. Whichever leg is lower, you're going to take that hand and place it under your bum. Your thumb is going to go up, and you're going to stay nice and close to your body. From here, I want you to just take a little weight back onto the pole. Make sure you can hold that as you're taking that leg over. When you're really comfortable with that, we're going to start playing with taking the leg through. So I want you to remember that spacing that you had down at the base of the pole with your upper arm, and you're going to find that position. You're going to take that other hand right under your bum, close to your butt, and you're going to take your knee over and touch your shoulder. From there, you can take that foot to the other side, and you're going to just grab the pole with that top knee. So we're going to play with that a bunch of times. Make sure you're really comfortable with that before you start trying the knee first version. So you're going to go up, find that space, get your hand in position, take the knee back, take the foot over, grab with the top knee. You can even get into your genie position from here. This transition is used for a lot of moves. And then you should be close enough to the ground to let go. If at any point you feel like you're starting to lose your grip, then I want you to just let go of that bottom hand, bring this top leg close to the pole to give you a little bit of grip as that bottom leg drops to the floor. It's important that you don't just roll over that bottom hand, because that can tweak your shoulder and your arm. Once you feel really good about that, then you can start to work towards the more advanced knee first thread through. And again, we're going to take it down to the ground and find the spacing, because it's a little bit different than the foot first. The spacing is not the same as when you're going foot first, because when you're going knee first, that knee is a little bit higher than when you're going foot first. So you need a little bit more vertical space in order to get that knee through. So see where you need to be in order to allow that knee to pass all the way through. So while you're down here and you're working on that spacing, I also want you to think about rotating the hips. As you take that knee through, you're going to have to turn that bottom hip even more towards the ground as you bring that leg across. So I'm starting here and I'm going to roll forward and take that leg through. There will most likely be some rubbing on the pole with this part of your leg. It's not going to feel great. Depending on your flexibility, that may or may not be a factor long term. So once you've found that spacing, you're comfortable with it on the ground, you're going to try it a little bit up the pole, not too high yet, because you want to make sure that you're good with this before you take it too high. So you're going to start same position, pole sit, stack the hips, bottom hand goes under the bum. You're going to find that position, and you're going to take that leg all the way through. You're going to end in the same way. You can grab the pole with that top knee, you can grab it with the bottom knee, and end up in your genie position. Now for this version, it's even more important to remember that if you're losing your grip, hold on tight with that top hand, let go of the bottom hand. You don't want to roll over that bottom wrist and injure your arm or your shoulder. So you're going to keep that top leg as close to the pole as possible to slow down your descent. You want to stay nice and low to the ground until you're really comfortable with it so that you're not falling from too far of a height if you do lose your grip, or if you're not able to quite get that leg around in the time that you're planning. So that's pretty much it for the thread through. Have fun with it.